Masturbation is often labeled as normal, harmless, or even healthy. But few people ever stop to ask, what are the long-term consequences of doing it excessively? This video dives into the hidden dangers of chronic masturbation that most people never talk about. If you felt tired, anxious, unmotivated, or socially withdrawn, this might be the missing link. Let's explore 5 serious consequences you need to know. 1. Chronic fatigue and low motivation. Frequent masturbation, especially when it becomes a daily or multiple times a day habit, can lead to persistent physical fatigue. Every ejaculation uses up energy, key minerals like zinc, and hormones like dopamine and testosterone. While the act itself may only take a few minutes, the hormonal crash that follows can last much longer. You might feel sleepy, low energy, or mentally foggy even hours later. Over time, your body becomes conditioned to this cycle, short bursts of pleasure followed by long periods of sluggishness. This directly affects your ability to stay motivated. Tasks like studying, working out, or maintaining discipline become harder because your drive is always being interrupted by artificial highs and crashes. Another issue is how chronic stimulation affects your dopamine system. Masturbation gives you a quick spike in dopamine, but overuse causes your brain to become desensitized. You stop enjoying regular life experiences, and everything starts to feel boring unless it's sexually charged. This is why many people on NoFap report feeling alive again after just 7-10 days, because their brain chemistry begins to reset. So if you find yourself tired for no reason, procrastinating all day, or unable to enjoy simple things, your daily habit might be draining more than just your energy. It might be draining your will to live fully. 2. Loss of sexual confidence. Porn-induced masturbation trains your brain to respond to pixels, not people. Over time, this can lead to a disconnect between your sexual desire and your real-world confidence. When your only source of arousal is visual and solo, actual intimacy starts to feel awkward, intimidating, or even uninteresting. This becomes most obvious in romantic or sexual situations. You may experience performance anxiety, premature ejaculation, or even erectile dysfunction, not because something is wrong physically, but because your brain is used to quick stimulation with no emotional engagement. You've conditioned yourself to expect instant gratification, which real-life intimacy doesn't offer. The result? A drop in sexual self-esteem. You begin to question your ability to satisfy a partner, to be present in the moment, or to handle real emotions that come with physical connection. This self-doubt can spiral into social withdrawal, fear of rejection, and emotional numbness. NoFap practitioners often report a reversal of these symptoms. As they abstain, their sensitivity to touch increases, their emotional depth returns, and their confidence in the bedroom slowly rebuilds. The mind-body connection strengthens, and intimacy becomes less about performance and more about connection. So if you've noticed a fear of physical closeness, or a lack of interest in actual sex, it's worth asking, has the screen replaced real connection in your life? 3. Weakening of mental focus and discipline. Your ability to focus on a task, delay gratification, and stick to a goal, all come from the same muscle discipline. Masturbation, when done compulsively, weakens this muscle. It trains your brain to seek short-term rewards instead of long-term outcomes. This habit can affect how you study, how you work, and even how you handle stress. You might find yourself constantly distracted, unable to finish what you start, or switching between tasks without progress. That's because the repeated flood of pleasure is teaching your brain that escape is better than effort. This becomes even more damaging when combined with the easy access to explicit content. You're not just battling a habit, you're battling an entire reward system that's wired for instant stimulation. And each time you give in, your ability to resist future impulses becomes weaker. But here's the upside, the reverse is also true. People who stop or reduce their masturbation frequency often report sharper focus, clearer thinking, and a new sense of control. They start reading more, executing plans better, and staying present in difficult situations. If you're constantly failing to build new habits, stay on track, or push through discomfort, the root might be a weakened discipline system, and masturbation could be the leak draining your mental power. 4. Emotional instability and guilt cycles. After the physical release, there's often a mental crash, especially when the act is driven by compulsive urges or paired with porn. Many people report feeling guilty, ashamed, or mentally drained. This guilt isn't just a passing emotion, it lingers, builds up and creates emotional instability. The brain starts associating pleasure with shame. You feel good for a moment, then bad for hours. This pattern repeats itself day after day until you start believing something's wrong with you. That belief becomes your identity. I'm weak. I have no control. I'm addicted. This emotional roller coaster can also lead to social withdrawal. You avoid eye contact, cancel plans, or isolate yourself because deep down, you don't feel proud of who you are. You lose the motivation to engage, to connect, or to grow. One of the most powerful things about NoFap isn't just what you stop doing, it's what you start feeling. Once you break the habit, even for a few days, your self-image starts to heal, guilt fades, pride returns. You feel emotionally lighter and more centered. If you often feel low, unmotivated, or self-critical after your habit, it's a sign that your emotional system is under pressure, and the guilt cycle might be to blame. 5. Reduced social confidence and presence. You might not notice it at first, but chronic masturbation often affects how you show up in the world. Social confidence, the ability to make eye contact, speak clearly, and connect with others, slowly erodes when your private life is out of control. This happens because masturbation linked with porn creates a false sense of comfort and control. You don't have to take risks, face rejection, or be vulnerable. You get pleasure without challenge. But in real life, connection requires effort. And if you've been avoiding that effort, your social muscle weakens. Men who've practiced NoFap consistently report stronger posture, deeper voice tone, and improved body language. These aren't magic, they're natural results of living in alignment. When you're not hiding anything, you become more grounded. You speak with conviction, you stand with purpose, and people notice. Social anxiety often comes from internal misalignment. You feel uncomfortable around others because you're not comfortable with yourself. When you clean up your inner world, your outer world starts to shift. You don't need to pretend anymore. You just need to be present. So if you felt invisible, awkward, or unsure in social situations, look inward. Your self-control or lack of it may be influencing how you carry yourself more than you realize. The hidden dangers of chronic masturbation go far beyond the physical. They drain your energy, weaken your focus, and slowly chip away your confidence. This isn't about shame, it's about taking your power back. The moment you break the cycle, even briefly, you'll feel sharper, stronger, and more in control. If this hit you, it's your sign to take back your energy and rebuild your best self. Subscribe now to NoFap Nation, where real transformation begins.